MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. In studio with us today, we've got Pravashen Naidoo. He's the founder and MD of eWaste Africa. And we're talking about really the issue around how much money to spend on R&D versus the cash flow requirements of a growing business. So my question is about your R&D, right? Has any of that R&D in the past, how long's the business been going?
10 years. We actually turned 10 years old this month.
Okay, so it's in 10 years. Has any of that R&D led to a sustainable competitive edge? When I say sustainable, I'm talking about like more than 2 years.
Yeah, without a doubt. Look, we generally are first mover advantage in terms of what we've been doing. So lighting, we were the first in Africa to recycle. And we were able to beneficiate the full product. But obviously volumes were difficult to come by initially.
Yeah.
Right now, another example is solar panels.
So let's talk about the lighting before you jump on. So when did you do the R&D and invent the way to do that?
So lighting, there's two different parts of the technology. So the actual separation of the components, we brought in a technology from the UK.
Yeah.
The chemical plant to extract things like iridium or rare earth metals is under process at the moment. We're hoping to finally commission it. So that's taken us 5 years to get to a point of commissioning.
Okay. So let's go to the first part. Okay. The question is, has it led you to a sustainable competitive edge?
Yes. So I do think our ability to recycle these components in a legally compliant manner and to divert 99% of those goods away from landfill. Actually, I don't know anywhere in the world where they're diverting the full 99% because we are extracting the phosphor part and processing that. So I think it's a competitive edge. I think we can sell our tech.
Who cares? Who cares?
I think we can sell our tech globally. It's a market that we really need to go into once the machine is sort of fully commissioned on the rare earth plant.
Okay, but I'm pulling here and I'm finding other things, right? Here, what I'm hearing is that you're going to be selling that technology.
Yes.
You're not using the technology only.
Well, actually, so because of our own internal use, we've had to come up with a solution. It is patented on this specific example. Another example is our solar recycling. We actually can recycle a solar panel and divert 99%. And that was in-house groomed and designed and took us a year. It's self-sustainable now after 2 years of putting that investment in.
Okay.
But the volumes tend to shift. So you tend to have to wait.
In a positive way or in a positive way?
Eventually in a positive way, but not necessarily. There is still a lag between that investment, probably 2 to 3 years to seeing the benefit. Okay. But we do want to be first in market.
Okay, I'm going to question that. So have you got competition?
Yes, I do.
So how do they learn of what you do? So you've got all these technologies. They're going to eventually copy in some way or another. So how do they actually get to understand and learn what you've done?
Yeah, I wish we could patent everything. So just the beneficiation of our byproducts for our solar goes into pavers and housing blocks. And you can't really patent that, but our formulation's protected. But competition would have different mechanisms of reuse of their byproducts. Electronic waste is quite a recycled component, and there are a few competitors in the market. Lighting and solar, on the other hand, is very almost like a boutique recycling service. Batteries are still boutique. Nobody's doing it in South Africa, but that's part of our growth plans. Is in 3 years' time, we hopefully will have a shredder plus the actual nitrogen cooling tanks to be able to separate the byproducts from the lithium-ion batteries. But yeah, it's that delay between investment.
Yeah, I'm trying to lead you down a garden path, and you're going towards it, and then you veer off that path. But let me push you harder. So let's role play. I'm an engineer. I'm a baddie. I'm not a goodie. I can't work for you. I can't work for you. Okay, with a complete intention of ripping you off. Right? How long would it take me once I'm working in your plant to work out what you do and to copy you?
You could probably do it in 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
But what differentiates us is that we have to go through a full environmental impact assessment,
Okay.
which takes up to 2 years sometimes to fulfill those legal requirements.
Okay.
And that's sort of the barrier to entry that protects our market, but also stifles the growth of the market as well.
So in that example, you got somewhere between 2 to 3 months at best that I can copy you if I'm in situ, and maybe I'm guessing a year to 2 years max, and then you still got the environmental sign off to get after that, after either one of those two. So when do you start that whole environmental process to get that documentation? Before you start your R&D or after?
A combination of both. So as the market evolves, I mean, we do have very strong R&D engineers in our team, and that's why the focus on these solutions. But it's a good 2 years to be able to get onto a facility that's licensed. And unfortunately, it's always going to be illicit processing, somebody burning cables on the side of a road. We're not competing with that market. We almost want to be the compliant, or not be, but we are the compliant solution.
Yeah.
So you can be rest assured that your byproducts are not being dumped into a landfill site somewhere, but they're being reused.
Last really tough question here is, and this is a brutal truth kind of question, do volumes really create economies of scale in your business? So is there a real palpable economy of scale difference if you've got 1,000, you spoke about access to product, right? 1,000 units versus 100,000 units. Does it, per unit margin, does it increase substantially over that time?
So two parts to the business. I say that every waste company is a logistics company in hiding.
Yeah.
So on the logistics side, no, because there's a set cost.
Exactly, right.
Whether you use a 20-ton truck, or, I mean, those are the differentials you look at. But on the processing side, so right now we can do anywhere up to 20 million light bulbs. We're doing probably just under 4 million a year. It's not a massive on-cost for us to add that extra bulbs on, which allows us to be competitive at that space, like a normal manufacturing facility. Volumes on the manufacturing side allow for higher margins in the long term. If you don't hit a certain level of volumes, you are in trouble because you can't break even on your costs.
So you spoke about the fact that you were going in the clip. You spoke about you going through a round now of raising additional funding. Why is this your first time?
So it's our first Series A funding round.
Okay.
So we have obviously bootstrapped the business along the way and other funds.
And do you think that there's going to be another round, a requirement for another round?
So, I mean, I've just come out of a meeting where we've had people from Switzerland and Europe in there, and they don't have solutions in their country for solar recycling. Interestingly enough, they're shipping it out into other countries in Europe. So if we can be fast and raise the money as quickly as possible, I do think there's a level of growth outside of South Africa that's a huge potential for us.
Pravashen, we're going to leave it there. When we come back, I'll have some things to think about for Pravashen. Stay tuned.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.